I have another creepy story. This one is about a girl who met a guy on a dating app and it went terribly wrong. So this girl downloaded a dating app. When she's scrolling through all the people in her area, she sees a guy who she had previously matched with. It is clear to her after about 20 minutes of conversation that he doesn't remember her. And so because she's a little bit embarrassed that she remembers him and he doesn't remember her, she just never mentions the fact that they had matched before. After a few days of talking, she starts to doubt herself. She starts to think that maybe this isn't the guy that she had previously matched with, because this guy's life seemed very different. His job was different, where he lived was different, his favourite bands were different. In fact, the bands that she remembered, specifically him liking her favourite bands, he didn't seem to have a clue who they were. She thinks to herself that maybe it is possible that this isn't the same guy, he's just somebody who looks like him, or maybe she's confusing him with another guy. She doesn't actually have to wait to meet this guy, because before their date had even happened, she started to see this guy randomly around, even though she had never seen him before. She saw him in her local supermarket, she saw him while she waited for the bus, but this guy never made a beeline for her. He didn't even wave, he just did one of these. And his nonchalant behaviour when he would see her led her to believe that there was nothing for her to feel alarmed about. The night of the date rolls around. At the bar, they're getting on quite well, conversation is flowing, there's not a lot of chemistry, but he's a nice guy, he's polite and he's got manners. The only thing that she doesn't like is that when he asks questions, he stares at her a little bit too intently and a little bit too long, and it makes her feel uncomfortable. She finds herself having to look away quite a lot. After 2 drinks, they leave the bar and they head towards the restaurant. But before they get to the restaurant, he asks her, is it okay if I stop back at my house and check on my dog? Being an animal lover, she says yes. When they get outside his house, he asks her, does she want to come in? And she says, no, I'm good here. After like 10-15 minutes, he comes back to the car and he looks really worried. He says the dog's not well and that he can no longer go for dinner, and he's very apologetic, which she is completely understanding about. As he feels so bad, he asks her, can he order her a cab and can he pay for it? Which she says that he doesn't need to do, but he is very insistent. And again, he says, do you want to come in and wait for the cab? And she says no. She is outside in his car, like waiting for him, not knowing how long the cab's going to be. She waits for around 10 minutes and then she gets her phone out to call a cab for herself, at which point he comes running out to her, almost like he's been watching her. Tells her that the cab is on its way and that it will be 20 minutes because they're very busy. She says, don't worry, I'm just going to get an Uber. And he says, Uber can never find this place. Honestly, you're better off just waiting. And as I say, I really want to pay. Please, I'll be offended, let me pay. So again, she waits. He then comes back out of his house, but this time with his dog. And he tells her that he's going to go for a quick lap around the block and that he'll be back soon and that her cab will be here any minute. As he gets to the top of the street, he takes a phone call. He then turns around and gestures to her to follow him, which she takes to mean that her cab is ready and waiting for her at the top of the road. So she runs towards him. When she gets there, he tells her that the cab is cancelled because he got called in another job and that he's going to try and contact another cab for her now. At this point, she has had enough and she just tells him that she's going to walk towards the main road and she's just going to hail a cab herself. And he says, I completely understand, but at least let me walk you there. Like, it's getting dark, I don't want you walking by yourself. And again, I feel terrible. So again, she says, okay, fine. So they're walking up towards this main road and he says, let's cut across there, that takes us to blah 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 road. And she's like, okay. They cut across this little bit, but it doesn't take them to any road. It looks like it goes deeper and deeper into a forest. And the whole time, as they get deeper and deeper, he is reassuring her that it's just a few more minutes, and then they're going to be at the main road. And now she has no choice, because when she looks behind her, she can't even see the path anymore. Until eventually she just can't bear it and she tells him, I'm scared, I want to go back. He turns around, drops the entire jolly, nice, polite man act and says, I haven't given you any reason to be scared of me yet. Turns away and he carries on marching. Instantly she knows this is the guy that she was talking to. He has just lied about his entire life and his intentions are not good. She turns and she runs back the way she came. She has no idea if she's even going the right way, and the entire time she can hear this man laughing at her as she tries to get away from him. Not only does this man laugh at her, he also tells his dog to find her as he's laughing. Can you imagine? Eventually she does find her way to a main road and she flags down somebody and she goes to the police and she tells them everything that's happened. He deletes every single one of his profiles on all of the dating apps. He has no social media. When the police went to the address, the one that man said that he lived at, they found that the landlord had actually been renting out each of the rooms to like strangers illegally, and that he hadn't been checking their IDs. And so there were several men that would like come and go and they were just paying cash. After a few months, he gets back in contact with her and he tries to gaslight her into thinking that her running away was really strange and that he was only joking around. She lets him know that she knows that's not his real name, and he starts to detail what he actually wants to do with her and what he would have done with her had she not run away from him that day. There are so many weirdos out there. Don't get in anyone's car, even if their dog is sick. Not that you should have to worry about it, but you do have to worry about it because there's weirdos out there.